All right, we're live with our Monday Night Raw review for September 4th, 2023. Thank everybody for joining us a lot on the live stream. Everybody watching the replay, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let's get this party started. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's jump right into it. The first Raw after Payback, we're on the no pun intended, we're on the fast lane. The fast lane. Couple of new storylines starting up. Some interesting ones continuing. And so here we go. We had Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, as always. Charlotte, North Carolina. I thought there would be a Ric Flair sighting or something. There wasn't. Usually when they're in Charlotte, what the
Flair
hell?
country? No.
Yeah.
Is
Or
he on
now it's Charlotte country.
I mean, he's on good terms again with the company, right? I think he's on good terms.
Yeah, until he does another Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Talks about the helicopter.
Oh, God.
Then he's in trouble. No, as far as I know, he's on good terms with them. But, they started off the night, of course, here comes main event, Jey Uso. He's like Typhoid Mary, man. Everybody does not want to be around him. They're keeping their eyes on him for good reason. I mean, the bloodline screwed over a lot of people over the last few years. They don't trust him. And so, everybody is going to be, cautious of with working with him as a tag partner or whatever. He got an interesting invite tonight. I'll get to that in a little bit. It was funny when Jey came down, and then shortly after, Sami Zayn came down. Of course, these two have history from the bloodline, and of course, Sami Zayn was saying how happy he is that he's here. Wanted to shake his hand. Jey didn't bite, and of course, they bring up, they're being a little oozy and stuff, and they hugged each other, and
yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, let's see what Kevin Owens has something to say about this when he gets back. He was not there tonight. It was just Sammy. This wouldn't be the first time we saw Sammy tonight. He'd be.
Why wasn't he there though?
I don't know. They didn't say.
Because he almost missed the table when he did the Swanton. He barely.
Either that or some of these guys probably already headed off to India.
Oh yeah, he's on that card, right?
Friday. Yeah. Owens and Zayn. Well, what's funny is Owens and Zayn were supposed to defend the tag team titles against Indus Sher, but that's not happening anymore. So it's probably just a regular tag match. But Cody wasn't there tonight. Yeah. He's going to be on the card in India. So several other people.
Oh, that's right, Cody. Oh yeah, Cody was.
John Cena is going to be on the card if anybody cares. I don't.
Oh Jesus.
Him and Seth Rollins will face Imperium. So.
I wonder if Seth's back is going to hurt in India, or it's going to heal in India and then.
No, it only hurts him in the U.S. Yeah. But once you get into international waters, he's fine. You're seeing as how he's been fine for the last 12 years. Now all of a sudden there's a back injury.
Yeah. All right.
And unfortunately, he wasn't there tonight. That upset me. In the back after they did this segment, well, actually not in the back, as they were coming out for their next match, McIntyre stared down main event Jey Uso. So did Matt Riddle, although when Matt Riddle stares you down, I start laughing.
Well, this guy tried to calm down McIntyre. So it's his first night back. Remember, Zayn comes back out and it's like, it's his first night.
Yeah, and this wouldn't be the last time we heard McIntyre talking about Jey. And of course, we do find out later on that with Jey coming over, somebody will be traded to Raw, so that they will be upset at Jey for that. Like they've been following the draft rules. And I just read, not 15 minutes before we went on, they have no plans right now of splitting the tag titles. That's wonderful.
Oh wait, so then these guys are just the champions on on Raw, right?
They're the tag team champions that I'm assuming fight on both shows now.
Oh, so they can just go wherever they want, but they got drafted by.
I don't know. I have no idea, man. If they went by the original, because remember the original draft in 2002 before the Judgment Day was
but the Judgment Day was drafted by Raw.
Wasn't Rhea Ripley to SmackDown?
Was she?
I don't remember.
I don't even.
Dude, they've drafted the people and they haven't even followed it.
Yeah, but anyway.
I mean, case in point, Grayson Waller's on SmackDown has a Monday Night Raw guest at the pay-per-view. I mean, I guess you could do that.
Yeah, that's
at a pay-per-view, but
looks like a loophole.
Yeah, but remember when they had the finals of the World Heavyweight title, you had a Raw versus SmackDown person.
And then anybody can go down to NXT whenever they choose to go down.
Exactly, and apparently it doesn't work the other way. Then you have a bunch of free agents because remember, Von Wagner's a free agent that could go to any show. And to be quite honest, I didn't even know he was still there till I saw the preview for tomorrow night for him and Braun Breaker. So, but when you use the same 10 guys every night, it's kind of hard to keep up with the roster and go, oh yeah, they're still here. Because I have to keep reminding myself Johnny Gargano still wrestles for WWE.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So our opening match for the night was a tornado tag team match. Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle versus the Viking Raiders. The Viking Raiders are the only regular thing happening on Raw. They're there every week. And now, pretty impressive, they're starting to be on some kind of a hot streak. So don't count on those tag team titles, boys, because I don't even know what's going on with them. So before they even got to the match, they showed the highlights of Rollins and Nakamura. For whatever reason, as McIntyre and Riddle are making their way down to the ring, they're showing the highlights of this from Payback. And then after the match, they showed that how Nakamura attacked Rollins. You and I had said, "Oh, he was just standing there."
All right, we thought he was going to do something. He didn't do anything. They went off the air, and then apparently he did.
Yep.
So it's not over. The feud is not over.
Nope. And then, of course, Adam Pearce was talking to Ricochet when Seth Rollins interrupted him. Ricochet telling him, "You don't have to do this all on your own." He was giving him giving him respect, but apparently Rollins didn't get what he was talking about. It's interesting how they've put Ricochet into this storyline with Nakamura and Rollins. Makes me believe that is it possible we could see a triple threat match at Fastlane? Would be interesting to see. I mean, even though Ricochet's not going to win the title, it would be nice to bring his quality of wrestling into that match. So during the match between the Viking Raiders and McIntyre and Riddle, it wasn't bad. I did like the little slapstick thing they did when Riddle pushes McIntyre, and McIntyre's like, "What the hell's going on?" Yeah, get the tables. He pushes Riddle. Riddle falls down. I'm like, okay, that sounds good.
Then he goes and gets the table, and then McIntyre gives that look like, let's do this.
What is McIntyre? What are they doing with him in this?
I don't know. They don't know what to do with him. They're just killing time right now.
If they want him to re-sign, this is not the way to do it. This is not going to be the way to do it unless they really don't want him and they're just riding him out. I'm still waiting on a Randy Orton return. And I thought when they did this tag team that it's quite possible that he would come back.
It might be
there's RKO everywhere.
It might be saving him for the Rumble.
I heard Survivor Series.
Away. Who knows?
But who knows? Now Survivor Series, I'm hearing, and I'm not buying it at all, CM Punk.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
We're never going to see him. Everybody can just stop with the rumor mill. Because I don't know if you saw it today on social media, but he said that, when I was suspended the first time, I was talking to WWE, which number one, he can't do if he's still under contract.
I don't know. I didn't.
And if I came back,
he hasn't issued a statement yet. Punk hasn't issued a statement.
No, just a statement that.
No, but he hasn't said anything. He hasn't given an interview.
Just a quote on this. That was it. He hasn't said anything about his firing. That he's doing in a couple of days.
No, I don't know, but it might still. I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe it was a source. I don't know.
I think it was. I think it was BS, regardless of who it came from. Because that's how he was going to fight Owens at WrestleMania. Whatever.
Apparently, he's going to be issuing a statement soon. So
he's going to destroy his career. Whatever.
He's going to destroy his career. He already did.
Whatever's left, I should say. Let me rephrase it. Whatever's left of his career, his reputation is going to be.
But don't be surprised if Punk shows up, man. Vince will bring back anybody. I just don't know why you'd bring back Punk. Punk's a cancer, man.
This guy is really trying to ruin his career, and if they brought him back, I think he would just do the same thing here, and you don't need that. So, let's get away from him for right now. Riddle being distracted by Valhalla took a huge that was a huge factor in this match. Now also Kofi Kingston coming down, and I knew this was going to happen, stemming from what happened last week. Mm-hmm. McIntyre accidentally hits Xavier Woods with the chair. Xavier Woods is not here, tonight because of injury. Now he's on his way to India. And so Kofi comes down and accidentally hits Riddle with Trouble in Paradise. And they put Riddle through the table for Ragnarok, and the Viking Raiders are victorious.
Yep.
Now, they tried to do it the first time, and Kingston helped save them. But I knew this is where this was coming. Now, either at Fastlane, you're going to have, if they go to a pay-per-view, if this is a pay-per-view level type feud, which I wish it would, either we're going to get a triple threat match, or we're really going to get New Day versus McIntyre and Riddle, because they are building this up, with the supposed accidents that's going on. So after that match, and they did this a number of times, I'll just go ahead and mention it now. They showed various video packages of past Intercontinental champions, mainly because of the milestone that Gunther, if he wins tonight, will get, even though technically it's not for another 4 days, but they want to go ahead and jump the gun now. Whatever, that's fine. I'm used to them knocking days down off of total title reigns.
Well, I mean, he's not gonna lose it. It's not like he's gonna lose it. So
no, but I did say this in previous shows that once he has the record, after that it's fair game on who's going to be on. Then it's more realistical that he's going to lose it. It's just a matter of how much do they want the record.
Yeah, no, eventually. I'm just saying he's not going to lose it. They're not wrestling tomorrow either, so they'll probably say, whatever. It's the last Raw, so we're not dropping it in India, so it doesn't matter.
No,
so
I don't even think he's on the card.
That's India. What I'm saying. So he's not going to wrestle. So he did break.
He's got the
technicality.
Record. Yeah. Congratulations to Gunther. Man, I'm a honk. I like the honky tonk man. I'm a wrestling fan of the '80s. I understand these records eventually do have to be broken.
They just want to break the records.
They've been breaking them left and right. They broke the tag team twice. They're gonna break this. They can't break the WWF title. I'm sorry, not if you can't break San Martino's 7-year record. It's not happening. So that's good. That's gonna stay. So Seth Rollins came down to the ring, and he was talking about Payback and how he walked into Payback, but after Payback, he had to be wheeled out by his wife. Whatever. Nakamura then came out, and Rollins issued a challenge to him for tonight. But I love, Nakamura's like, no. And he's like, yes, no. And they're going back and forth. This was really good. And of course, Rollins was like, well, if you're not going to come to me, I'm going to come to you.
Come down there.
They're beating each other down. Security's, trying to break them up. Or they were split up. Ricochet comes out, which I thought was interesting because now he's putting himself. He's injecting himself.
Well, the reason why he came out is because Nakamura got the best of Rollins. He kicked him in the back, and Rollins was down and hurt. And then Ricochet came out as security was out there.
Yeah, he kicked him in the back. That hurts. So we will. The next match actually happened. It was Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
They had
Before that, Adam Pearce is telling Seth that he's trying to protect him. He's doing too much.
It's like Rocky IV. It was like it's suicide.
You can't win.
Yeah, I don't know. They was like, you're running a pace that nobody has. I'm like, come on, man.
What are you talking about? Every champion has run this pace.
Right. This isn't anything different.
No.
This is not anything different. So I don't know. But yeah, we're nitpicking now. Let's just go.
No, we're not. We're nitpicking at something, like I said, that this injury is all of a sudden come to surface. And every time he gets hit, we've got to hear about a back injury. We talked about it on Payback. They were overselling it. I mean, okay.
I don't think the storyline needs. I just don't think this storyline needs that.
No, it doesn't. It kind of takes away a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway. right before the match, they showed that or during the match, they showed how Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were watching the from backstage because Mr. Money in the Bank, he's got to keep his eye on all the
Senor Money in the Bank, because remember, will we get today?
No, not yet. You go ahead and mention it. Well, we'll wait. It's fine.
Damn it. No, continue. Just go.
I did like it. It was very nice. We'll get to it in a second. This match was pretty good between Shinsuke and Ricochet. I liked it. Not something you haven't really seen before, unless they fought on SmackDown when they were on there, or if you've been to a house show. Nothing that they've done on pay-per-view. I was really shocked that Nakamura got disqualified and lost, considering you think that he would still have to continue his momentum strong if he's going to continue to face Rollins and lose there. So I was really shocked that he got disqualified here when he hit Ricochet with the chair. And then, of course, after the match, Rollins came out, and that's where security came out, and Rollins went nuts, just tossing them everywhere. And, of course, that's when in the back, after Rollins was down again, Rhea looked at Damian and said, "Not tonight." So if not now, man, when? We need this.
Rhea's gonna screw this up for Damian, man. She's gonna screw it up for him, and
You're seeing the same thing I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That slowly she's number one. They're all looking to her, so she's like the unofficial leader.
Well, it's BS because later on when Dominic is talking to Jay, he says, "Oh, we're all equals." That's not true. Rhea's obviously in charge.
Dominic has no authority in
Dirty
whatsoever.
Dom.
He's
Dirty Dom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dirty Dom. I don't want to upset the guy. He is like as maniacal as a bag of wet kittens, and he's like a puppet in there. Michael Cole had said something along those lines when they were talking later on. So he's just like the guy that they let come in there and hang out with them.
He's the mascot.
Thank you. There you go. So following that match, they showed the Lynch Trish Stratus match from Payback. A lot of people I noticed this weekend after the match were saying that this was a candidate for match of the year.
No, about that.
One wrestling page got agitated at that, saying that, well, if you're saying that, then you didn't watch the Jericho Will Ospreay match. No, some people did, and they still said that Lynch and Trish were match of the year. But whatever, I'm not getting into that. It makes no sense to get into that argument.
I mean, I didn't see that match, so I can't tell you. But I can tell you that
I saw the highlights. It was
but I'm saying that the Trish match. I mean, it was good, but I wouldn't say it was like great. Like, oh my god, wow.
I think it was up there. I think it was one of the matches for Payback that stole the show. It was pretty good between the two of them, considering it was Trish's first cage match. Of course, then after that, Zoe Stark was interviewed, saying that how she got rid of Trish. First of all, Trish is not going anywhere, because if Trish was gone, you wouldn't be mentioning her on Monday Night Raw. She's on a little break or whatever. She will be back because she will be facing Zoe Stark. Trish is not done in WWE. But we get Shayna Baszler back to being a heel, and Zoe challenged her for later in the night, and of course she's still bringing up Ronda Rousey. Why?
She got rid of Rousey, and this girl.
I'm trying to forget her, and you keep bringing her up.
Like I text you, two shit houses versus
pretty
each
much.
Other.
Now the next segment they did, Judgment Day had come out now. Of course, Dirty Dom being booed by everybody, and it's funny because
they're piping in those boos though, man.
I think
they're piping in those, because it's really, really loud now. It's really loud. They're piping them in, but it works.
It's funny, and Balor wanted to thank JD McDonough, and then Rhea. I love when Rhea had said the bloodline has fallen. We are the legit badasses now, and she's right.
She's right.
Until Roman gets his house in order, bloodline runs it.
How about? Or until he
I'm sorry, not bloodline. Judgment Day runs it.
Yeah.
Roman and then of course JD McDonough comes out, and I love when he told Priest, you need to get rid of that.
It was just hilarious how he just interrupted them. That was hysterical.
And he was, you need to get rid of that Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm yelling, I'm looking at the TV going, what you want it? But now we know the reason why.
He had something in his hand. You could see he was holding something.
A new purple Money in the Bank briefcase, and so Damian Priest is going to carry that one around. Pretty much, JD McDonough right now is what Sami Zayn was to the Bloodline. The little mooch that's trying to get in. Only this is going to work because JD is secretly in it, and really nobody knows it, because it's coming. It's going to happen.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, for a brief time, they may be the 5 of them, but like I said this at Payback, the Payback live show we did. The minute Balor and Priest lose those tag team titles, it's open season on Priest. I see it coming because
Or
even
or if Damien just cashes it in at the wrong time and he
and
loses,
Balor gets pissed off.
yeah, it's gonna be something bad. It's coming. But I mean, the storyline is good.
It's going to be a good storyline even to when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And putting McDonough in there, to me, it's all right. I just think you need that big guy like Priest, and you're going to have 3 little midgets running around. You got Dom, JD, and Balor.
Well, Dom is not a midget. He's just not over.
He just can't wrestle.
Dom's pretty tall, so.
Yeah, I've said this before. Look, they rushed him 3 years ago. No NXT experience, right to the main roster. You fight Seth Rollins in your first SummerSlam. I mean, it didn't make any sense to me. And I've said this, once the Judgment Day gimmick goes away, what are you going to do with him? Go back to Daddy? Come on.
Maybe.
I don't know. They better start working on that. But in any event, Sami Zayn came out again. He called them all 5 champion stealing turds. And of course, the big, Dom was the biggest that, deserved the beating. Sammy challenged Dom, but McDonough took the challenge instead. So later on, we'll have Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. Next package after that, they showed Gunther talking about his upcoming match with Gable after they did another video package for the IC champions. Before the Zoe Stark match, which we were all in anticipation for, Adam Pearce was with Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, then gets interrupted by Chelsea Green. She comes in. Pearce is telling her that Piper Niven is not medically cleared. So once again, you're losing another. These titles are jinxed beyond belief at this point. So we're going to get Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green tonight. Why we got that, I have no idea. But it was Zoe Stark versus Shayna Baszler. And as much as I tried to get into this match, I really couldn't. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt.
I didn't. I was only half paying attention to the match.
Even the fans were half paying attention.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Now, they did try to show her endurance of when she was in the Karabuta clutch of how she was fighting it. And she did lose, but lost by technical submission. And Baszler gave her the respect at the end and said, well, at least you lasted longer than Ronda did.
Yeah.
And then Zoe said something about Trish. But I don't know if they're going to put these two together now. I don't know. It's if Zoe was supposed to play the babyface on Trish, and now you're putting her with Shayna, who's apparently back to heel. I don't know what's going on there. It's throwing shit up against the wall to see what sticks at this point.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
It doesn't for me either. I think Zoe should go back down to NXT, but I'm just one person. What do I know? So they had Judgment Day was in the back, and Balor wanted. They were talking about how Balor wanted McDonough in the group. Rhea said, "Let's see how he does tonight against Sammy." And then, of course, Rhea was talking to Dom about some private business, which we would probably find out later on in the show. So, before the next match, which was Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green, they showed from Payback the Rhea Ripley Raquel Rodriguez match. The one thing that Raquel Rodriguez wanted, and she will get next week, she gets her rematch for the Women's World Title.
Yep.
Dirty Dom barred from ringside. She made a mistake there. What she should have gotten was in the entire Judgment Day, including McDonough, barred from ringside. But I know this is storyline, and obviously that's just me. I'm looking at it like that. Like
she's not winning that belt. Either way, she's not winning.
No, she's not. You barred Dom from there, but who's to stop?
Why would they mirror? I don't know. Why they would rematch on Raw though?
The ratings, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
Depending on, I mean, we've got like 5 weeks, I think, until Fastlane, because I believe it's on the 7th next month. So we have time. Maybe they're looking for a new challenger, or maybe Raquel wins that match next week by disqualification or count out, and the third and deciding match would be a Fastlane with a special stipulation. So they could still be building it up. It's too early to tell. No, nothing signed yet for that pay-per-view. So the match with Chelsea Green was pretty much a squash match to me. I mean,
The one-sided ass kicking.
It really was. I mean, Chelsea Green came down trying to, talk some sense into Raquel, and Raquel wasn't, even listening to it. I mean, she hit it with the Tahana bomb, and that's it. It's over. Goodbye. Chelsea, get out of here. Go find another tag team partner or something at this point. But Raquel is back on her winning ways. And so after that, they showed Alpha Academy in the back, getting ready for this. Did you really you had me thinking about it for a minute, because by that point you had texted me and said that what's her name? Maxine was going to join Imperium.
Yeah, I just had this feeling that it's coming.
They were talking about putting Tiffany Stratton in there because that's Ludwig Kaiser's real life girlfriend.
Oh.
And he said that she doesn't need it, and he didn't want her in there because she was above it at this point, so she didn't need that push from them, according to him. But yeah, they were thinking about putting her in there. So when you had mentioned that, I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it's possible. But then none of Imperium or Alpha Academy were at ringside for this match.
They weren't at ringside, yeah.
So once I saw that, I was like,
it can still happen, though. It can still happen. Who knows?
You never know. Vince can wake up tomorrow and Shayna Baszler could be in there. You never know. It's whatever he thinks. So this is where the night got totally batshit crazy to me. And The Miz comes out to address the WWE Universe. He's doing The Miz TV. His guest, he announces John Cena. Now we know John's not there.
You couldn't see him though.
My son said the same thing, because the new wrestling game that he plays, if you win everything, you get Super Cena.
Yeah.
Once you do, the challenges, and Super Cena is just an invisible, just a shirt.
You can't see him.
And the whole time he's going, look, he's right there. You can't see him. And what the best part is, the cameraman is going around like he was Cena.
Yeah, like he was Cena, yeah.
And Miz is arguing with himself. And he skull crushing finales the air.
Yeah, the air.
Now this the first thing I'm thinking about here is back in WCW, excuse me, when Ric Flair would take his jacket off and start elbow dropping. I want to know who produced this segment, because you need a brush up, pal.
I had a friend back in the day. I don't want to get sidetracked. He once fought like a ghost in the middle of the street when we were kids.
Did he win?
No, he lost.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a true story. All right, let's move on.
But before we get into any more Miz nonsense, before this actually started, Drew was in the back looking for Kofi Kingston. Riddle's trying to calm him down. And then on top of everything else, he's talking about how he's got to watch, Jey Uso since he's over here now. And Kofi's talking about the chair hitting Xavier, and Drew walks away and he's telling Riddle, you better talk to your boy. I don't know where they're going with this. It's two babyface teams.
Well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Going at each other in a tag team division where nobody's going to win the belts. I have no idea what they're doing with this. This is not something it's not something that Drew McIntyre should be in a tag team all of a sudden. Considering you're a former Royal Rumble winner, 2-time WWE champion, and you're doing this. You should be.
He was the pandemic champion, though, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, so
he
was like the lowest draw. He drew less money than everybody.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
know there's no way he could draw money with no crowd.
He did a good job in who he fought over that time.
I stopped watching. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take the empty arena. I just couldn't do it.
I did it just to see what they would do.
When they would cut promos, I'm like, this is bad, man. They would act like people were actually there in the arena.
Yeah,
they had the screens. It was bad. It was rough. Anyway,
just wait until we get to that WrestleMania retro review.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, that's a long time from now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Drew should be in the top discussion with facing possibly guys like Cody or Jay now. or facing Seth Rollins for the title. No, we're going to put him with Riddle, who they already said they're not going to push.
Right.
So, and then getting back to the Miz, after all of this was done, and he throws an imaginary person out of the ring. Made the challenge to LA Knight, so we'll see on SmackDown. Well, when LA Knight comes out, what he has to say about it. I'm sure he'll accept the challenge.
I hope they fight on SmackDown though. I don't want to see that at a premium live event again.
No, I think it would be a Raw or SmackDown at this point.
Yeah.
Preferably, I think it should be at SmackDown. But if this feud culminates at Fastlane, then LA Knight's probably going to wind up losing the next match.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Which he really can't. He can really ill afford considering.
No.
According to Cole, one loss and his run is over.
It's over.
Yeah, calm yourself, Michael. The run's not over. Vince has to put this in his head that this guy is for real. The fans are behind him. He's got to make a run with him. And if they don't, it's whatever. It's stupid. After that, though, after Miz was done beating up imaginary people, they showed the highlights from Gunther versus Chad Gable when Gable beat him by countout.
Yeah, it was great. It's like when Luger beat Yokozuna by countout.
I know you mentioned that already when we were done with him. Win's a win, man. Win's a win. You didn't win the title, but you did get
the moral victory. It's a moral victory.
It was. But a good moral victory for Chad Gable. So before the next match, which was Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough, Adam Pearce was in the back talking with Jey Uso, mentioning how somebody from Raw will be traded over to SmackDown. Mm-hmm. So excited. I can't wait. And then, of course, Pearce then after that had a secret meeting with Tommaso Ciampa. So we'll probably have to wait till next week to see what that's going to be.
It might be him. It might be him. Like, see ya.
I keep reading that him and Gargano will be put back together at DIY. Oh. So I don't know because I haven't seen Gargano in quite a long time. So I really don't know what's going on anymore. So if they don't have anything for him, that's bull because he could be wrestling on Monday Night Raw and be tearing the house down. So during Sammy and McDonough's match, Dirty Dom had come out naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he got his ass beat by Zayn. But the second time he got distracted, McDonough rolled him up for the pin. The match itself was all right. I kind of had a feeling. I knew with who was going to be victorious at this point.
Yeah, but then McDonough's telling him, "Just go."
Yeah, first he didn't want to help him.
Right,
but then he went back and said, "Get out of here," and he took the beat down from Sami.
Then he got his ass whipped. So it's like, all right, Sammy lost, but then he whipped this guy's ass after the match.
Okay. And he's doing all of this without Kevin Owens being there. Yeah. So I'm slowly seeing a War Games match here.
Yeah.
Judgment Day versus Owens, Zayn, Rhodes, and probably Jey Uso.
But will McDonough be with the Judgment Day? Will we, at least not officially. Will they all be together? Will we be on that team? Will we be on that team? So.
If they're all still together, it would be the four of them. But it's when are they exactly going to pull the plug and start the feud within the Judgment Day again? It's just time is going to tell. So after that, they showed from Payback when Becky Lynch was being interviewed how Tiffany Stratton interrupted her, and Becky's telling her to watch. She should be more concentrating on her title match against Kiana James on Tuesday. My gut feeling is telling me that at No Mercy, the NXT No Mercy at the end of the month, that Becky Lynch is going to be facing her for the one title that's evaded her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is what happens. They've been moving up and down. Remember, Charlotte won the Royal Rumble and challenged for the NXT title for some reason. It's because they have to keep these women relevant. And they have to find something to put them on the show because there's only so many women's matches they can have.
Yeah, I think they're also trying to help NXT too, get some
the ratings,
get some ratings exposure. Because I don't watch NXT, I don't even know what the hell's going on down there.
I guess we're not doing No Mercy then, live on September 30th.
No, it's okay. If it was Halloween Havoc, if they bring back Halloween Havoc, I'm gonna watch it.
Halloween Havoc more than likely will be a USA. Event like they did with Heatwave a couple of weeks ago. Halloween Havoc normally is their regular NXT episode. that they just named it because they've done that before and they had brought back the spin the wheel, make the deal. So, I mean, I know I'm watching NXT No Mercy. I know
good luck with that.
it's not bad. I'm telling you, watch the pay-per-view. You'll be impressed.
Maybe I'll tune in.
Especially with Carmelo Hayes, man.
I don't even know when the pay-per-views are. When are they?
September 30th.
But are they on Saturdays too?
Yes.
That might interfere with my UFC schedule.
Oh,
so.
Jesus.
Well, I could always watch the replay. All right, anyway.
Exactly. You can always watch it the next day. Here. Bakersfield, California, September 30th, NXT No Mercy. Check it out. So after the whole thing, they Judgment Day celebrating with JD McDonough in the back. Of course, then Dom says, I got to handle something. He goes and starts talking to Jey Uso like he knows him, dysfunctional families.
I understand. No, I'm serious. I understand what you're going through. So there's always room for you.
I'm glad he ran this by Balor and Priest and all of them before he did.
Well, he ran it by the boss. I mean, Rhea's the boss. So she's the one who probably told him to do it because remember she said we'll talk about that other thing. So that I would assume that's what they were talking about. But I mean, I get it's not bad storytelling. I just know we know Jay's not going to join them.
This is where Jay is going to start feuding with Judgment Day, and this
pretty much.
This
and he has, and he doesn't have any friends, and that's when he's going to join the Super Friends with Cody and
that's where War Games comes. Yeah. Should they make it there? Which at this point, doing this now, I would say hold on a little bit longer. Let's have this match. If they do War Games, I have no idea.
They better do War Games, man. They better do War Games this year, man.
After last year, yes,
so good last year. Yeah,
it really was. And when you brought it to the main roster, I'm like, hell yeah.
And on Survivor Series too, man. Because Survivor Series is crap.
I don't want to see WWE champion versus World Heavyweight champion, especially when it comes to the tag champs. They'll be facing each other.
If you're not gonna have the traditional teams, I mean, I know that world is
don't do no bragging rights garbage.
But do
War Games.
The War Games again.
You could do a female War Games, definitely, because I already see that feud coming with Damage Control, and then you got Charlotte involved in that. You've got the makings of it set up right now. Just do it.
Hopefully they do.
I hope so too. So we're now on to our main event of the evening for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defending the title against Chad Gable.
Chad Gable with all his family in the front row.
I felt so bad for his daughter at the end.
That was his daughter?
Yes.
Like she was crying.
That was his kids.
I felt bad at that poor girl, man.
You know what I saw this match as being? Not to embarrass him, and you're not going to win the Intercontinental title, but the fact that you're in a main event type match, they're checking to see what he has to offer. And I already know what he has to offer.
It's a good match. The only thing a problem is he's so undersized, man.
That's the problem.
But he has talent. But it's just you can see this he looks so small next to Gunther. I know Gunther's not a small guy himself.
But man, that impressive back suplex that he does.
Yeah. No, he's a good wrestler. They got to change his gimmick though too, man, because it's too comedy right now.
They need to make it more serious.
Yeah.
Because everybody's looking at it and saying, "Oh, he's the shorter Kurt Angle." Of course, my son said tonight, minus the broken neck. But when Gunther did that one move, dropped him on his head, I said, "Well, there it is."
They looked bad, right? When Gunther dropped him, he looked like he fell right on his head. Yeah.
And following that was a powerbomb and a vicious clothesline, and Gunther getting the victory.
It was a great match, though.
Let me just veer off a little bit because mentioning Kurt Angle. If I watched the documentary yesterday, anybody that hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it. This was so sad to see, but a lot of the stuff I did not know, especially the fact that he broke his neck 5 times total. I mean, and just what he went through with his family. I implore to everybody, check it out and watch it. It'd be well worth the time. But getting back to this match, I think Chad Gable showed WWE I can handle it. I despite his size, I can go in there with a guy like Gunther and I can go toe to toe with him. But we all knew Gunther was going to win this match because he's getting the record. But I think this match was way better than their last one.
No, and I'm sure that was done on purpose. They really they saved the best, their best match for this, man. But
I was just really it was a pay-per-view and not Monday Night Raw.
He's still not I get it. He's still not the greatest Intercontinental champion. That's Santino Marella.
No, he's not.
So,
no, he's not.
Of all the time.
No, Oh no, hell no, Razor baby. Don't take it from Razor.
Santino, man. A honkometer was you will never see anything like that again.
Thank God. Come on, man. Don't take it away from Razor.
Now the IC thing of it, to me, the
Your
best
boy Brett.
No, I'm not gonna say Brett because Brett won the world title. If you're talking about guys who never got the world
Strictly
title,
IC title.
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Scott, I think Razor Ramon.
It's close.
4-time Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, but that towards the end, that's when they started flipping the belt around. Remember, Jeff Jarrett had like 3 times, and it was during that time. Dean Douglas had it for like 30 minutes, I think. Right?
Yeah,
minutes.
the length of that match.
Was it even 30 minutes?
No, it was less than that. It was like
15,
12.
20. Yeah. Well, anyway. No, but Razor was a great IC champion. Nah, it's a toss-up between either one of them.
I get where you're going with Mr. Perfect. I definitely put him in the consideration.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of those guys. But Gunther,
there's a bunch of guys you can put in that argument.
But Brett is actually, if you're counting guys who had both belts, it's Bret the Hitman Hart.
You're not gonna get any argument from him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Shawn Michaels.
No.
He had both belts. Triple H.
It was overrated. No, don't stop.
No, I just wanted to see what your reaction was.
No, Shawn was a great IC champ. I'm joking. I'm not being serious. All those guys are tremendous. But Gunther has the record now, and he's doing this. He's brought prestige back to that title because for the longest that title it didn't mean anything.
They never defended. It was a year and a half before they even defended it on a pay-per-view. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but he's brought prestige to the title. It means something, and I think going forward, it's going to be interesting to see like when he gets his shot, like what he's capable of doing, because we're seeing that he's legit. He's legit. He's a star.
Exactly. And he's no spring chicken either. He's up there, so it's got to be like no pun to John Cena, but his time's got to be now.
Yeah,
for quite a few guys, man.
Yeah. All right, well, that's our review. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care.